Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, traffic on State Road 64 east of the interstate needs to slow down, but the Florida Department of Transportation's vision for that road is only making homeowners more concerned about safety. ABC 7's Erica Jackson explains the solution FDOT has proposed for that fast-paced stretch of road.
Homeowners who live near this intersection at State Road 64 and Grayhawk Boulevard say driving through this area is dangerous. This intersection has seen 23 crashes over the last 5 years, one of them taking the life of a pedestrian.
Over time, traffic just seems to build up and up.
Manatee County homeowner Steve Radius is fighting for a way to slow down drivers on State Road 64 near his home in Grayhawk Landings.
There's 1,000 families in here. That's lots of families and kids that need to be able to have a safe way to get on and off 64.
He and his neighbor Ryan Abair petitioned for the Florida Department of Transportation to put a traffic signal at the intersection of 64 and Grayhawk Boulevard. But FDOT found the area does not see enough traffic for a light, even though it's difficult for drivers on Grayhawk to make a left turn.
In the mornings during rush hour, it can take 5 to 10 minutes to get out just with traffic, oncoming traffic.
But FDOT recognizes a problem and is instead designing a roundabout at the intersection with Rye Road. They've started a project development and engineering study for a roundabout at Lorraine Road with plans to do the same at Grayhawk Boulevard. Radius is a fan of the idea, but thinks some of his neighbors might not be as excited.
People not knowing, how to maximize a roundabout and be able to use that to get traffic to flow right.
Construction for the Rye Road project is scheduled to start next year, but Abair argues that won't help homeowners off Grayhawk or Lorraine.
It's going to help that area, but again, there's such a big space in between Rye and here. By the time they're going to pick up speed again, and we're going to be right back in the same situation.
The PD&E studies will determine the design and potential costs for both roundabouts. The Florida Department of Transportation hopes to begin construction for both projects by the year 2021. Reporting in Manatee County, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Erica. And for the first day in a long time, a relatively clear day for drivers, mostly sun. But Wendy Ross is telling us there is some activity out in those tropics. Wendy?
I tell you what, it's that time of the year, and of course we knew that this was going to be taking place, but we are looking at an area just to the south of the Yucatan Peninsula that does have our attention right now. So we're seeing a great deal of moisture that is now coming on in and beginning to develop just to the south of Cuba and this area, but in particular we're watching this location because it's a little close to home. There's about a 30% chance of development over the next 48-hour period as it crosses over the Yucatan Peninsula, and once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico, there's an 80% chance that it could develop. We just don't know where it's going to go yet. It could go either into Mexico, Texas area, or it could go on up towards the north, towards Louisiana. Right now, it's too soon to tell. And then there's another low-pressure center that is located out in the Atlantic, and that system is beginning to make its way towards the west-northwest. Right now, the spaghetti models are keeping it to the south of Cuba, but again, it's too far away for us to know for certain what it is going to be doing. But we do know this: it has a 40% chance of developing over the next 2 days, and it has a 60% chance of development over the next 2 to 5 days. So that is also something we're going to keep on the watch for. And right now, there's nothing to show you on radar. We'll let you know what tomorrow's forecast is going to be. That's coming up in just a minute. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Now to some frightening moments in the choppy seas off of Cape Cod, where a passenger ferry plowed into a jetty, sending at least 15 people to the hospital, and nearly 60 others had to be rescued. ABC's Kenneth Moten has more on that rescue operation.
Tonight, the incredible images, this high-speed ferry slamming into the rocks in Hyannis Harbor. The boat stuck, taking on water, dozens of people on board.
We just received a mayday.
Overnight, the water rescue, teams evacuating 57 passengers and crew. A Coast Guard chopper hovering over the scene. This infrared video showing the moment one injured person was airlifted to safety.
All of a sudden, I just felt this huge jolt, and I flew forward, and there was people outside who fell over and injured their head really bad, and it was just chaos at that point.
Those frightening moments captured inside. Passengers waiting to be saved, life vest on. Many forced to climb down a ladder onto slippery rocks to escape the grounded ferry.
I just don't have enough awesome words to say about all of the emergency services folks that came out.
15 people transported to the hospital. At the time of the incident, the ferry company pointing to strong winds and rough seas.
And on to another open water accident that is being called the worst in years for the U.S. Navy. Tonight, U.S. ships and aircrafts are scouring the waters near Japan for 7 missing sailors. Some officials say that those sailors may still be trapped in the wreckage of their own ship, the USS Fitzgerald, after it collided with a cargo ship off the coast of Japan on Friday. This evening, the Fitzgerald was pulled back by tugboats to port. The extent of the damage possibly putting that ship out of order for months, if not years, to come.
This is a particularly bad mishap for the U.S. Navy because the Fitzgerald is one of the most sophisticated ships in the U.S. Navy.
The Navy is still uncertain how long it will take to gain access to the spaces inside the damaged destroyer in order to methodically search for those missing crew members. The Florida Democratic Party holding their annual fundraiser in Hollywood this afternoon, featuring the three declared Democratic candidates for Florida governor. They all shared their views for the state's future. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, former U.S. Representative Gwen Graham, and entrepreneur Chris King may have some varying degrees of disagreement, but they all spoke in support of raising the minimum wage and re-emphasizing traditional public schools over charter schools. Current Florida Governor Rick Scott cannot run for a third term next year. Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam is leading the Republican candidate. A mix of art, family, and science greeting those visiting the Oslo Theater today for its 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Family Day. The event used to promote one of their newest shows gave families the chance to explore undersea life with help from Mote Marine, who brought along a few of their special marine creatures to give guests an up-close and personal look, while the South Florida Museum brought along their own hands-on activities and crafts.
You know, as a parent, we're always looking for fun things to do during the summer, and that's something that can be hard to find for lots of different ages. And today is one of those days that's perfect. It's a little bit outside, it's a little bit inside, and it appeals to all ages.
Oslo's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea will be playing through July 1st. In order to get the word out about some of the different events happening here on the Sun Coast, a group held a free event on Siesta Beach today. Everyone who came out had a chance to meet some people in the area, enjoy some music, free food, and a variety of activities.
Today we just wanted to get everybody together to have fun. Everything is free. Everybody come by and we're having a beach party. It's all about a beach party.
Organizers of the event say they are pleased by the turnout and hope to host similar events in the future. Not tough to find a crowd out there, though. In other news, officials are saying Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher died from sleep apnea along with a combination of other factors. However, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office said they could not conclusively determine what caused her death. Heart disease and drug use were conditions they are saying contributed to that death. The report also indicates that she had taken multiple drugs. Fisher was best known for playing Princess Leia in the Star Wars saga. She was 60 years old. A judge in the Bill Cosby trial declaring a mistrial today after the jury failed to reach a verdict in the case. Jurors deliberated for 52 hours and asked 12 questions during their days of deliberations. In the end, they told the judge they were not able to reach a unanimous decision on any of the state's 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Cosby was accused of drugging and assaulting Andrea Constand in January 2004. He said all along that he and Constand were in a romantic relationship and there was no assault. The mistrial brings a close to one of the most high-profile sexual assault trials in years. A new trial is expected to be scheduled within 120 days. It's Queen Elizabeth's birthday, well, at least the official one. The occasion is marked by the annual Trooping of the Color ceremony. The Queen's actual birthday is in April. She turned 91, but the celebration always happens in June to catch the best London weather. Still to come here on ABC 7, an update on a U.S. Congressman, Steve Scalise, recovering from multiple gunshot wounds in a Washington hospital. And a 3-year-old stuck at the bottom of a crowded pool is saved by the unlikeliest of heroes. Stick around. Hey, what's up? I forgot to ask before the show. You've probably done shows this week. I haven't seen anything on this congressman. Is it Steve Scalise, or is it pronounced a different way? Oh, thank God. That's like one of those high-profile stories that, like, you know, everybody's seen, and I'm like, I panicked on that one. Thank you, Steve Scalise, for being named that. Me neither. I don't think anybody did until somebody got shot at one. It's the most exciting congressional baseball game that's ever happened. Yeah, it's like watching Little League again. Hey, first of all, I'm not going to say this because I'm mic'd up. I'll tell you guys after the show. Here's some out-of-shape adults playing baseball. Sorry that somebody tried to spice it up. Full action. Justin, if you Snapchatted that, I am going to snap your neck. You know what? No, it's all right. That's all right. No, but I would have run that in my show. He's actually, like, well, this was months ago that I checked, but he was having a pretty solid season. No, what? All-Star game. A follow-up now in the shooting of a Republican lawmaker and others at a baseball practice this week. Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise has been upgraded from critical to serious condition. Hospital officials say he continues to show signs of improvement and is speaking with family. Scalise was one of 5 people shot when a gunman opened fire Wednesday as the Republican team practiced in Alexandria, Virginia for a congressional baseball game. He has required surgery several times since that shooting, and at this time there are still bullet fragments inside his body.
It's quite common that we don't remove bullets and fragments, and that's the case here as well. That I have not counted, but I would guess that there are hundreds of fragments. And usually there's more risk involved in trying to find and remove those fragments than benefit.
Even in the midst of his recovery, a tweet from Steve Scalise's account says the congressman was watching the LSU baseball game tonight and was rooting hard for a big Tigers win. Now to a cautionary story as we head into summer. A 3-year-old boy in a Florida pool slipped underwater without any adults noticing, but luckily there was someone who did notice. Surveillance video capturing the moment when a little boy went underwater, drowning while surrounded by several other swimmers at a pool in Tallahassee. Nearly 3 minutes passing by before a 9-year-old noticed what was happening and his mom, a registered nurse, sprang into action.
I thought, wait a minute, he's underwater, and I don't even think he can swim.
I knew I had to start CPR. All my focus was come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby.
The toddler was revived, and now first responders are calling the 9-year-old and his mother heroes. After 2 minutes underwater, a child will lose consciousness, but after 4 to 6 minutes, irreversible brain damage can occur. A dramatic whale rescue operation has finally come to a happy end after this male beluga whale got trapped while swimming into a river in New Brunswick. The hours-long rescue involving a mattress, a truck, an airplane, and a floating stretcher. Officials believe he was trapped for at least 2 weeks. The whale was flown to Quebec and released among a pod of female and juvenile belugas this week. Scientists say they'll be using satellite equipment to track its activities over the next few days to see how he is making out. So 2 water rescues, sort of. Land rescue and water rescue.
I had tears in my eyes with that first story with the little boy.
But he made it.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Somebody saw it, thankfully.
I'm just so very glad to hear that. Well, we didn't have any rain today, really, to speak of. I take that back. We did have some rain, but so few of us had it. And you can see that right now we haven't had any for the past couple of hours. Most of the showers that are taking place offshore are moving away from us right now. And we have fair skies to partly cloudy skies sitting on top of us at this hour. And you can see that there's nothing to show you, but there had been some rains that came through. Mostly east of I-75 is where we saw the showers throughout the day. And they formed east of I-75 and then continued to move on up towards the north. And so this is what it looked like earlier today, just pockets of heavier rains that came through. And this is what I mean. You can see I've highlighted the heavier amounts of rain that we've seen over the past 24-hour period. And this is anywhere from 2 to 2.5 inches of rainfall in pockets across the west coast. So this is what we're looking at as far as our tropics are concerned. And as you can see, we're starting to see a lot of cloud cover developing, and this is taking place in the Caribbean. And the area of focus is right now to the south of the Yucatan Peninsula. That's this peninsula right here. And we are looking at an area down to the south of that peninsula, and this is the area of concern because this is a tropical system that is trying to get its act together, and it looks as though it's going to cross over that Yucatan Peninsula and move into the Gulf of Mexico, and from there it could go anywhere. Right now we don't know where it's going to go. It could go into Mexico, move up towards Louisiana. There's the possibility it could even come over to Florida, but we're not going to know this for another couple of days. But as you can see, there's a 30% chance during that next 48-hour period for it to develop, and we up that chance once it moves into the Gulf to 80%. Now we're looking at another system out in the Atlantic, and this system is showing signs of continuing to move towards the west-northwest, and the models are keeping it south of Cuba before it moves farther on towards the west-northwest. So again, we don't know exactly where it's going to go. However, we do know that it's got a 40% chance in the next 2 days of development, and then a 60% chance after that. So these are systems we're going to continue to monitor, especially the ones that are coming close to us. We're going to be paying very particular attention to those. 88 degrees was our daytime high today. Normally we're at 89 degrees, and right now we're looking at temperatures in the mid to mostly mid-70s all across the area, mid to upper 70s everywhere you look, and that's going to be pretty much our temperature for the overnight time period. 77 degrees, fair skies, high humidity, and dew point at 72 degrees. Those winds are calm coming in out of the east-southeast. And if you're heading to the beach tomorrow, get there in the morning because we're going to have a nice morning. Southeasterly wind, seas 1 to 2 feet. We get up to a high of about 86 degrees. The showers and thunderstorms, those start to come during the afternoon and evening hours. And by 5 o'clock, we've got about a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms taking place across the area. Adam?
Thank you, Wendy. Sports is coming up next. Stick around. Seconds, eh? I know, I'm walking around. I don't know, I'm not looking at the rundown right now. You can kill Pete Rose, probably. That's probably like the least pertaining to Florida one. How many seconds is that? What? What? Say 1 second? Oh, as in like give me a second. Like rushed over here. Nice graphic, by the way. Like it. Sorry. Here we go. Aaron Jabray. It's okay. I was saying C5 you could probably kill. I can't tell how long that is. Maybe I can if I click it. I don't know. I'm thinking I really want to have the full screen of the College World Series, but is that going to be like too short? You know, I'd just like to keep the full screen. That could be like 20 seconds. But okay. Okay. Drew got it, man.
Now, sports.
Day 3 of the U.S. Open at Erin Hills featuring a shuffle in the top 5 today, as well as some history being made by one American, Justin Thomas, making crazy shots like this birdie putt on 4. Look routine, rides the fringe perfectly, and you can see the path that ball takes to the hole. It did go in. I know you can't tell by the graphic there. And then more from Thomas, tied for first place on 18. He blasts a 3-wood from the fairway. Likes it, judging by the face, and he absolutely sticks one within a few feet of the hole. He would finish the round on an eagle. This face by Thomas just says it all. 9 under on the day. It's the best round in U.S. Open history. I think it's the pink pants, but here's what the 24-year-old had to say.
It hasn't set in. What happened today? I mean, I was in a great zone out there. I was hitting it well. I was putting it well. Had some great up and downs. So. It kind of just everything's been flowing, so I'm sure once I kind of sit down and relax tonight, it'll maybe set in a little bit more.
And here's a look at the leaderboard after day 3. As you can see, Thomas tied for second there. Ricky Fowler working his way into the top 5, and Brian Harman leading the pack at 12 under. The Rays hoping to avoid a 4th straight road loss today. Chris Archer able to take a shutout into the 5th inning, but Ian Kinsler catches that 3-2 breaking ball, hits it off the wall in left field, and Kinsler ties the game with a 2-out double. Very next inning, Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown winner not long ago, takes Archer deep to right field, and the Tigers lead by 1 run. Game tied in the 7th inning. Malik Smith at the plate, able to place one perfectly between first and second. It scores Daniel Robertson easy from second base, and the Rays lead by 1. Alex Colomé in a bit of trouble in the 9th, gets a via to ground out with a runner on third, and the Rays get their first road win since Tuesday. 3-2 is your final. 8 teams are left in the hunt for a College World Series title, and 2 are from Florida. The Gators and Seminoles starting the last leg of their national championship runs this weekend in Omaha. It's Florida State's 23rd trip where they haven't played in a title game since 1999. The Gators lost a championship series back in 2011 and are back for the 4th time since. Neither team has ever won. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us. Not bad. Sorry, I didn't know what to do there. I don't know if I skipped the full screen or what. Okay, yeah, okay. That's okay. That was, I mean, no, that was a good catch by you. I mean, I just didn't know what to read. Like, I didn't know if you had it or not, so I just kind of. Okay, no problem. No problem, we're just not reporting the latest news. It's whatever. I walk out there, you know, just trying to update scores. And for what? For people to take silly pictures of me and put them in the desk? It's all right. And the rubber duck got killed. This is not my night. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's all good. The dog it's a nice story, I think. I'll let Wendy be the judge, whether it's a nice story or not. I was saying, are we doing a two-shot or just what? I thought this was top VO. Forget it. One puppy may have used up all his luck. This is Buddy, a yellow lab who was out for a walk along the edge of some train tracks in Greenbrier, Tennessee with his owners when a train came racing towards them. Buddy's family got out of the way, but Buddy tried outrunning that train and did not make it. That train hit him. He apparently laid down between the tracks while the train went over. He suffered some severe injuries, but somehow survived to tell the tale. However, he did lose his own tail and now has some large gashes on his face, but it's still a face that anyone could love. And we're happy he's still around. Look at him.
Oh my
Good boy.
goodness.
Maybe learned his lesson too.
So he laid down right on the track.
Between the tracks, I guess.
And the train went over him.
The train, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Horrifying if you're the owner.
Oh
Can you imagine waiting that out until
until
the end? But he made it.
He made it.
He did make it, and we're all very happy for it.
I am happy.
End your night on some good news.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.